Listen, I did defend Ghost in the Shell, and you know what? I gave it a chance, but the set photos that I'm going to show you guys is absolutely just ridiculous. Now I'm going to say, look wise and all that, we don't know. You can't judge a film until you watch a film. But you can have expectations going into a film, of course. Now, the whole controversy was, of course, the casting, the whitewashing in Hollywood. And I said, listen, Scarlett Johansson becoming Makoto the Major, it makes sense profit wise. And for an anime fan, I want anime to go into a live adaptation type era because I think it can. I mean, look at All You Need Is Kill, which was a manga wasn't light novel, turned into a live adaptation of Edge of Tomorrow, hashtag live, die, repeat. And it was fantastic. So Ghost in the Shell had so much going for it. I mean, you had Steven Spielberg, who bought the rights for the DreamWorks. At one point, I think he was going to produce it. And I would have absolutely loved for him to actually direct this film because Minority Report was basically a Ghost in the Shell kind of love letter, or really with the cyber tech and a lot of the CGI that was used beautifully. And actually, Tom Cruise, who was in that film, was in also Edge of Tomorrow. We're gonna look at some set photos, and I'm gonna give you my opinions on them. Some of them are somewhat the same, so I'm just gonna give you a brief opinion. But let's go through the cast real quick. And this is set for 2017. It's set for March 31st, 2017. And it is directed by Rupert Sanders. And Rupert Sanders is the guy who did Snow White and the Huntsman. And he's only done that major film. And he's getting a hold of another second, I don't want to say major film, but they really gave him this film. And I'm just like very shocked on, this is the most shocking of it all, is they give Rupert Sanders this job. And I don't think he's... Snow White and the Huntsman wasn't terrible, but it wasn't that great. And honestly, I think you give this to a more well-known director who was definitely uses CGI to the benefit, CGI, practical effects, and I just don't think Rupert Sanders has it in him, honestly. This is, of course, Scarlett Johansson as the Major, aka Makoto Kusanagi. You have Pilo Asbach as Bato, and he is definitely, we'll get to that in a moment. He's Danish, so he's not any, he doesn't have no, he's not Japanese or any Asian. He's not Asian. There's not really a lot of Asian people except Omaki. Omaki is played by Takashi Kitano. And I can see, that's a great casting. That's good casting right there. With Takashi being Omaki. You got Juliette Binoche as Dr. Qualet. You have Ryla Fukushi. I believe we have the Laughing Man as well. The Laughing Man is played by Michael Pitt, and he is American, Caucasian, of course. So what really bugs me is that the fact that I said that Scarlett Johansson is fine, but you need to get an all Asian cast or at least most of it, for the supporting cast. And this is absolutely ridiculous. I don't see why not you don't go that way. You already have a major star, a name out there. Go that way. But let's talk about some of these photos right here. So we're going to go with this photo real quick. If I can bring it up. Here we go. We're going with this photo. We have a chick who's wearing like fish netting. You can see her belly. She's on all black. She has the combat boots, I believe, and pants. And you have like a purple bag, and you have her covering her face. She has a little bit of purple in her face. It looks like she has some LED lights going on. Next to her, kind of reminds me of the Laughing Man, the color scheme at least, the gloves, the hat. I don't know what is going. I don't know what's going with that outfit. I don't know what's going on here. Why is she covering up? Maybe she's not even part of the film. I'm not sure. It looks like they're in a busy street. You see graffiti on it's not a wall, but it's like one of those cages. You have a lot of foreign kind of language in the background. So I want to doubt if they start filming this in Japan. We also have Bato. Now this is our actor who's playing Bato. The jacket was very reminiscent of Bane to me. The side profile is actually quite nice. The hair looks. The hair is the hair. Honestly, I could think a lot of different people playing Bato. What I noticed more is the eyes. He doesn't have those prosthetic eyes, which I'm so disappointed in. We're gonna go to the next photo right now. And we have a blown up picture of facial of Scarlett Johansson as Makoto. We have one with her in a jacket, and the other side she has no jacket. You have Bato right next to her, who has the jacket zipped up. I don't know why it's zipped up. Okay, so listen, I don't see the Scarlett Johansson looks fine to me, honestly. The hair, you can tell, it's a little funky hair going on there. She looks fine. She looks fine to me, honestly. I mean, I see why they cast her because, I mean, if you've seen Lucy, she made money off Lucy, even though it's not a great film. But to me, she looks okay. Would I've liked maybe a different actress? Sure, why not? But they can get around with this script writing. I mean, I say you could change things to fit live adaptation, especially with anime. Makoto, her ghost is basically her mind, her brain, her consciousness is how do I say it? Pretty much transplanted to a cybernetic prosthetic body, basically. And so that's why it's called Ghost in a Shell, because her ghost is in literally a kind of a shell, a human shell, a cybernetic kind of prosthetic kind of cyborg, so to speak. This is very techie savvy. I mean, we live in this world. You have a cybernetic world where you can hack, you can go into a internet type base. You can actually go into the internet. If you've seen that Futurama episode where Fry and all them actually go into the internet, that's pretty much what Ghost in the Shell is. It's very, if you think, you got to think Matrix. Matrix has played a lot of homage to Ghost in the Shell. You really got to think also Minority Report. I mean, it's very a tech savvy kind of futuristic type world, a punk hazard type world. So with her being Caucasian, I don't have a problem with it because they could work around with it, because we don't, honestly, Makoto, the Major, doesn't even know her real name in the anime series. She doesn't even know, she remembers bits and parts. She knows the whole gist of maybe there was a plane crash and all that stuff. But she just doesn't really know her past. She actually has a watch that makes sure that she has that says, okay, this is like Bato with his weights and everything, even to remind them that they're human. They are in fact at one point were human. So with Makoto, and we'll go to another picture right now. Let me just find it real quick. Well, let's go to Bato. So we see Bato with the white compared to the anime version. I would have loved for them to actually. Oh, I'm sorry. So he didn't have the jacket on in the last photo, but I would have loved to see him with that all white jacket on. I mean, I think that white jacket pops out more. Now, here's the problem. The problem is he does not have any prosthetic eyes that pop out like Bato has in the anime series, which I don't know if they're gonna put that in special effects wise when everything's said and done, or they're actually going to change it up and where they're going to showcase the eyeball having somewhat prosthetics in it. I don't like the idea of the eyeball having a lot of prosthetics in him to do a lot of things with those prosthetic eyes, just eyeball wise. I think it's really cool that, because it kind of looks like he's a blind man, but he's not a blind man. He's all cybernetic, baby. He's all just like, he is pretty much a Ghost in the Shell. So this Bato that they casted, he looks big enough. He fits the bill. I do think there's other actors that fit a more better build than this Bato, but we'll see how he is. He's a no-namer. Like I said, preferably this part, I would have liked at least definitely an Asian man in there. I just don't see it. I think there's a lot of Asian actors out there who are very capable of playing Bato, who have the right stuff. I mean, when I was a kid, all I watched was Bruce Lee movies. That's a leading man. So don't give me that shit where you cannot get a leading Asian descent man in there, because it boggles my mind how people Hollywood thinks that they can't lead that. I mean, look at Jackie Chan, look at Jet Li at one point. Look at Jackie Chan for many years, and Jet Li at one point was very big, but Bruce Lee did it, and and Donnie Yen seems to be trying to translate over too, because Donnie Yen has been in I think he was in another film before the Star Wars Rogue One film he's going to be in, but it just boggles my mind. But Bato right now, he looks fine. I will say he looks fine. We'll see how acting chops wise he is. Another picture. This might be like the Laughing Man. It might be also like their Bato and Makoto are going down this downtown area, and there are different kind of possibilities of a Laughing Man being in the area. This one is you can see him. He kind of looks somewhat of like a homeless person. You see, of course, a lot of the foreign language. So I'm thinking they are filming in Japan. I'm hoping they are. Moving on from there, we do have this one, and this one's insane, man. This one looks like he has a Jason Voorhees type mask with a prosthetic arm. A lot of meat markets in this this scenario, this location, this scene. So I'm pretty sure, I'm assuming, because you can see a little, somebody has a lot of green on his arm as well. You can see there's probably a lot of green screen going in the backdrop, and there's going to be a lot of special effects. So going back to Makoto, the Major, I love the Major. I think the Major is one of my definitely top 10 female anime ever. You say Revi, I'll say Makoto, the Major, because the Major just fucking, she is iconic, man. She's a badass. She's the Major. She commands your attention. She commands her, the Section 9. It's been a while since I've seen Ghost in the Shell, but the one that stood out was always the Major. And the one thing, Scarlett Johansson, it kind of looks a little bit like Lucy if you think about it. The one thing I love Scarlett Johansson. I think she's a very beautiful woman, and I think she definitely has capability. Look at all her role in Black Widow. But if I was directing this, I would say, Scarlett, we're going to push this back to 2018. I want you to gain that muscle. I want you to really showcase those muscles, because there's one scene in the anime where it's been a while since I've seen the animated film, the first film, Ghost in the Shell, where I think she was lifting a tank. I think she was lifting like the top of the tank. I can't really seem to remember, but she's lifting in her arms. It just really, her arms are rippling. You could see all the detail, the muscles of this prosthetic body, and then her arms just rip apart. That's a very iconic anime scene. So with Scarlett Johansson, I'm pretty sure they're going to use that part as well, and they're going to CGI a lot of this stuff, but I would have loved to see her really ripped. I mean, I know she's very capable because of Black Widow, and she looks good right now, but I think I would have liked to see a little bit more toned. That's just my Major. I think she's super toned, and it makes sense to why she is the Major, and why that's a prosthetic body. We have another one with Makoto and Bato together. They're just walking down the street. There's not too much going on in these set photos, honestly. Just a little things here and there, but that's honestly about it. I'm hoping this film is great. You don't judge a film until you watch it, but right now I'm very disappointed on the casting wise, the supporting cast at least. Bato looks okay though. Bato looks fine, but the prosthetic eyes I would have loved. Overall, I mean, Ghost in the Shell is one of my favorite anime series of all time. The Major is definitely one of my top 5 female anime females of all time. She's just amazing. She's just a badass character. I would have loved to get a lot of more stuff. I actually have the wall scroll in the back of Makoto. So Ghost in the Shell is definitely, I know a lot of people have not seen Ghost in the Shell, and I think that's a definitely major mistake. Ghost in the Shell is one of the pioneer animes of all time, and it has a lot to offer. So Rupert Sanders, I mean, I'm looking close at this film because I really love Ghost in the Shell, and like Akira, I mean, these are the two big animes and mangas and that of all time. So I'm just really interested to see what is presented in this film. So I want to thank you guys for listening. I'm Dan Megadana's son. You can always find more videos on my channel. Like the video if you like it, and comment below. Let me hear your guys' thoughts on this live adaptation and set photos. And always subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate that. So I'm a little pissed off with the supporting cast, but overall, we'll see how it goes. Rupert Sanders, I don't have too much faith in, but I would have really wished Steven Spielberg be directing this, but you can't get whatever you want. So thank you guys for listening.